I'm Ryan Kelly, and we're on the bus, on location here today in Lorton, Virginia, with the founder and president of DC Trails, Bill Torres. Bill, thank you for being with us today.
You're welcome, and thank you for having me.
Bill's got such a great story, and I just want to start from the beginning, Bill. I mean, you're one of the premier carriers here in the DC area, one of the top 50 motor coach fleets in America. How did we get started? You've got such a great story.
Well, thank you for the comments, by the way, but a lot of hard work. My career probably started about 35 years ago, and it started right after high school. Born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. Went to a public school, Thomas Jefferson. I graduated out of Thomas Jefferson, which is in Brooklyn, New York. Went into the Marine Corps, spent 7 years in the Marine Corps, and I tell you what, each day of the 7 years were a good day. The amount of knowledge that I received from the Marine Corps and the training that I got in the Marine Corps is what brought me to pretty much where I'm at today.
So what did you do in the Marine Corps?
I worked for motor transport, heavy motor vehicles, which is basically what I do today. I started off driving, little Jeeps. Then I went into a mechanic course. From there, I went into tractor trailer and buses. By the time I decided to get out of the Marine Corps, I was already in charge of a 35-man unit, heavy vehicle unit here in Quantico, Virginia, actually.
So you got out of the Marine Corps, and then what happened?
Went back home to New York just for a short period of time, just kind of decide what I wanted to do next. I started working for UPS and also started working for some part-time bus companies in New York. I remember the first bus company I worked for in New York was Carroll Coaches out of Staten Island. I also worked for a company that's no longer around. Actually, Carroll Coaches is not around. And Dominical Tours. Dominical Tours was a big operator in Bayonne, New Jersey. I worked for them for a short period of time. And then I decided to move back to the Washington, D.C. area.
So you came to Washington, D.C., and then what happened?
Well, before I moved back to Washington, D.C., I decided to take the Metropolitan Police Department test, which I did and successfully passed the test. At the same time, I also took the New York City test. Being a policeman was something that I always wanted to do in my life. And D.C. called me right away, and I started with the D.C. Police Department in 1990.
Now, you had a very unique position within the D.C. Police Department. Tell us about it.
Well, when I first started, just like every rookie in any police department, I started working midnights. It was hard, but we made it happen. I was assigned to the 4th District, which is probably, at that time, was probably one of the worst as far as crimes was committed in D.C., one of the worst areas to work in. I worked for approximately a year and a half, midnights. I saw some openings. They were looking for one person to join the Special Operation Division motorcycle unit, which is ultimately the unit that does all the escorts for the President of the United States and all dignitaries that come into the city. I believe 350 people applied for that one position, and I was the lucky guy that got the position. So my career as working midnights was pretty short, about a year and a half. I was selected to Special Operation Division. We were assigned to the president. So anytime the president moved out of the White House, we were there to ensure that he had a safe move wherever he was going, whether he was going to Andrews Air Force Base or whether he was going to a function in D.C. We were the frontline guys for the president.
So what was your favorite story, or most unique experience while you were working there?
I got a lot of stories, a lot of good stories. I'm not going to get into some of the stories that are floating around, and we just leave it like it was an awesome experience, and we were one of the elite units in Washington, D.C. that had the opportunity to shake hands with presidents and dignitaries that came into the city.